And just remember, if you can, grab a mic, because then everybody can hear. And people online can hear. And I will get out of the way. Slowly.
So they're just gathering up their information. There's just a few people coming back in from outside. So all the time the presentations have been going on, there's been somebody who's been drawing posters for each one on the wall and is adding writing to them as well. So I'll try and get over there at some point and give you a bit of a rundown of what's on there. So it looks like the team's just about ready to go. This one might need a bit of a description because it's a skit. I think we're just waiting for Lydia to come back in. Here she is. That's Lydia from People First.
Communication. Communication is the world problems, all right? So apologies. First will be Lydia from People First.
Oh, so People First are going up first. Do you want me to video?
Lauren and Teresa. And
I'm just going to put this down because I'm going to video Lauren.
Yeah, you can.
Kia ora everybody, my name is Lydia Starr. I am a regional coordinator at People First New Zealand. So for you that don't know who we are, People First is an organisation that's run and led by the disability community. And we have some of our members here today which will be leading the project we're going to be proposing today. Did you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Teresa Nicol ahau, ko People's First West Auckland, he tangata, and also I'm a kaioko for our local kapahaka group.
Kia ora everyone, my name's Michael. I run First Festivals in West Auckland, and yeah, welcome everyone.
Hi, I'm Lauren Glenn. I'm a People First member of the North Shore.
So, working with the disability community, I've heard comments made that the disability community or people with learning disabilities find that they struggle to understand what climate change, climate adaptation is all about, and they often get left out of the discussions around climate change. What we're proposing as a group is to host a forum for the disability community, open to the community, to provide education around the concepts of climate change and climate adaptation, what it is, why it's happening, what people can do to contribute. During this forum, we really we don't want it just to be a one-off forum. We want it to be something that has a long-term impact, and people walk away with resources that they can use to help themselves understand and prepare for climate change. So what we are wanting to include in the forum is easy reads to have available for people to take away, also make them aware of where they can find them. People First are proactive in creating these easy reads, so we would like to have some of those available. We also would like to create have videos, a number of videos that are accessible to everybody on a number of subjects relating to climate change, and that would be available on our website and maybe Auckland Council as well. And we also want to have resources such as what you'll hear about later with our whānau, where you have physical resources to help you when climate emergencies occur. So to sort of help explain that a little bit more, the team will help get into that a little bit further. A big part of what we hope to gain from this forum too is also building leadership in the community with these members that are leading the project. They're really passionate and interested in learning and growing and teaching and incorporating their peers into getting involved in climate adaptation and change. So we believe that they're really good role models to continuously teach new members that come in, other people and people within the community that they engage with about climate change, and helping to get everybody sort of on the level understanding. And in doing that, we really think that climate change, climate adaptation can be really scary and quite stressful. So by holding this forum, we're hoping that it will help their sort of mental health as well as their physical for preparing as well. So I'm just going to hand over to the team, and they're going to just explain a few additional things.
So our first thing is, why do we need this forum? So we want to close the accessible information gap. That's also for the neurodiverse, so that everyone can understand and read what it is about climate adaptation and changes. We want to increase our inclusion, confidence and well-being, not just of the members, but of the community itself. We want to create stronger connections and include them in our forums as well. Yeah. Oh, and also create stronger leaders.
How are we doing this? Well, we are going to have 3 guest speakers. Speaker from the disability community, SME, on climate, what is climate adapted change, what is it happening and what does it mean for you? I speaker from Auckland Council explain what they are doing, what you can do. What is climate adaptation and readings mean from a Maori perspective.
Yeah, so there's somebody in the disability community that his whole life revolves around learning about climate change and adaptation. So we think it would be great to hear from someone in the disability community, but we also want to hear from Auckland Council about what they're doing, and we want to hear about climate change and adaptation and what it means from a Maori perspective as well, because it's really important. So we sort of talked about what we're doing and how we're going to do it. Did you want to come up?
We already have a range of easy read resources that will be shared at the forum, with printed copies available for participants to take home. We will also ensure people will know where to access these resources online. In addition, we would like to develop a new easy read resource specifying focus on climate adaptation. people with learning disabilities in the wider disabled community
Who's going to benefit?
may families, whānau, support networks, Auckland Council, emergency management agencies, People First members and leaders, as well as me.
Yeah, Lauren was just saying who's going to benefit. So yeah, she just mentioned who's going to benefit. We really like we've sort of said we want this event to be long term. So yeah, we want to create leaders. We want to share. Get everyone prepared safety wise. And improve people's mental health and confidence and understanding about resilience. So I guess that the whole forum will hopefully have a big impact long term over lots of different groups, not just our members, but even though our members will be leading it. Through that we just want to make it a really enjoyable day to start with, where they learn and interact with each other and make connections, and then walk away with hard copy resources and information that they can use long term for their sort of personal use when they need it. Did you want to know about the budget? Yeah. So for our budget, we were asking for about 38,000. So that sort of covers it covers having the workshop with Afina, who she's going to talk about that now. It also covers the lunch. It will cover guest speakers. We want to have interactive games to warm everyone up. We're talking about including climate change and getting them to do some interactive games with us. Having the videographer doing the videos, that would be a cost as well. We would like to have this open and available and accessible to everybody, so we also like to include sign and braille interpreters as well, so we would have them available if there were people attending that needed that. Okay, yeah.
You're in charge.
You're in charge.
I'm in charge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, boss.
That feels good. So maybe make the questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
You got a question?
We have questions now?
That's right.
I have a question. In regards to your collaborations with other community groups, do you have anything else to say upon that?
I guess we would sort of encourage other groups to join the forum, and during that time what we were hoping to be able to do, part of it would be to get into groups and have discussions and gather information regarding what they need, and then feed that back to Auckland Council as a resource or information for them when they're making the decisions. They can kind of use that information and be aware of what other groups and organisations are needing and asking about. Yeah.
Thank you.
I am developed because thinking how long do you my question is how are you going to do the polls? Will they be in person? Will you have an online option?
Online options? No, we hadn't.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't really thinking about online options, but we were going to record some of the discussions and have parts of that available for people. Also, some of the outcome of the forum we'd like to incorporate into an easy read. So questions that have been asked and feedback that we're getting, eventually create a document that will inform them of through what we covered and what was communicated. Yeah.
Yep. Right. Thank you.
Hi. What would success look like for People First?
I think success would look like, what it would look like is if we could create and support the members to feel confident to move on in the future and keep spreading the knowledge that they've learned, and also take part and make connections with people, especially Auckland Council, and be invited to be included in some of those discussions and having the confidence and knowledge to contribute to them in a meaningful way. Also, having more people aware of the resources that are available for them when they need it. Like that would probably come through in requests for easy reads, or people, commenting back on them and knowing that they are available. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just a very brief question. What is your wish for the future, the three of you? Can you explain a little bit about what your wish for the future may be?
My wish, Teresa here, my wish for the future would be that every person with a disability has a right to speak up for themselves, to ask questions if they're not sure, and to not be scared of meeting new people, because we're all one big family and we should all work and grow together.
Kia ora, Michael here. My wish would be spreading the word out to the community and the family and friends and work colleagues, so they can know the knowledge, then they can pass it on to their own kids or teenagers, so whatever comes and happens, they can learn from it.
Hi, it's Lauren here. I want to be part of the community and also being a leader and a role model for my people in the community as well.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Forum was going to include creating a resource that people can take away with them, and now Afina is going to just run through that. She's the organiser for that part.
Kia ora. Oh, kia ora.
So Afina has made her way up to the lectern.
Due to menopause, I have to read off the cards. Because I can't remember anything. Tēnā koutou katoa. I stand here on behalf of our whānau and our kaupapa, XR Rogers Safety Co. XR, X is Saviour and R is Rocky, and last name Rogers. Our mission is simple: leading climate adaptation solutions for whānau hawa. For many of us with access needs, climate change shows up in very real ways. Floods, heat waves, storms, evacuations, and sudden changes that can take away independence in an instant. Whānau Hoa feels these impacts first and hardest. We were approached by CCS Disability, and the question to the boys was, what would you boys do in an emergency event? And the boys came up with cards on lanyards. And cards on lanyards is that The boys wear them around the neck. They can run around, do whatever they want, not worry that they're going to lose it. It's got my name and my phone number on there if someone finds them and they don't feel like talking to anybody, which they won't. The person can look at the cards and say, okay, I know what your mother's phone number is and I know what her name is, Awhina. And on there is also the boy's disability, so that that person will know what the boy's needs are. And there's a map on those cards, and the map shows the boys how to get to Domino's Pizza in an emergency. Because people will be there working, they won't be alone when I'm not available. The boys won't ring 111 because they won't talk to anyone. But the boys will walk to Domino's from the house they're living in because they know the way. And the instructions from Mummy is, go to Domino's and wait for me there. Each card is personalised. It includes name, address, communication needs, sensory needs, support contacts, simple visual steps to follow during a climate event. It also helps responders understand the person instantly without them needing to speak under stress. This is climate adaptation in action. We've already had strong interest from emergency services who immediately saw the value of having a consistent disability-led tool that helps people stay calm and communicate during climate-related events. Emergency Management New Zealand said they told us that this tool is like, that tools like this are very rare. After this pilot, they're keen to stay involved. They've said that they would like to see these workshops delivered more widely, and they're interested in exploring how XR Rogers could support responders in the future. To get there, to deliver this pilot properly, we need this funding. Not for anything less, not for anything extra, not for anything unnecessary, but for the basics that make this kaupapa safe. Materials, printing, accessibility needs, facilitation, support for full participation. Without this funding, our community misses a climate adaptation tool that will generally keep them safe. Before the boys come up, I want to give a quick sensory warning. The skit the boys are about to do has very loud alert noises. Very loud. To show what panic could feel like during a climate-related event. If loud sounds make you anxious, please feel free to cover your ears or step out briefly. Your well-being comes first. When I watch Rocky and Xavier perform, I cry like a baby. No. They've been working hard on it, and it's quite emotional. I see my son showing the world what independence looks like for them. Their skit is emotional because it's real. It shows a simple tool can remove fear, reduce panic, and give them confidence during a climate-related event. Our project is simple, practical, and ready to scale. It is disability-led, it is climate adaptation, and it works. Ngā mihi nui kia koutou.
So Awhina leaves the space and Rocky makes his way up. He's put a bunch of lanyards on the lectern. And he's miming watching TV. He's having a bit of a boogie. He's trying to change channel.
Good evening. We interrupt your program to bring you breaking news of a powerful storm system, now named Cyclone Karen, which is bearing down on Auckland City, bringing heavy rain, strong winds and widespread disruption across the region.
Rocky frowns.
Authorities encourage you to go to our safety locations.
He picks up his lanyard. Xavier's just on his phone. He gave Xavier his lanyard. He went to put it in his pocket. Rocky reminds him to put it around his neck, so he does. Rocky looks up anxiously at the thunder. He opens the curtains. He runs off. Xavier's outside. He's getting chilly. He picks out his phone. He's pacing. He remembers his lanyard. He reads. He leaves and Rocky reappears. Rocky pulls out his phone.
Hello, you're reaching Xavier. Please leave a message.
Rocky paces anxiously. He remembers his lanyard. Rocky leaves and Xavier struts back in. The two brothers hug each other as they meet. Mum's in the corner crying. She's hiding her face behind her papers so we can't see her. The boys hug again. Our mum comes to join them and gives them both a big hug. And the three of them bow, holding up their lanyards to remind us. Mum steps back behind the lectern, but she's got a tear in her eye, so she turns her back to us. She's facing the wall, wiping her eyes.
Do you have any questions?
Thank you so much for your performance. It's really, really clear to be able to make it, you know, a visual performance like that. I do have one question. I'm hoping that it would spread out throughout New Zealand if we were to start here in Auckland. Have you given any more thought to the spread?
Yes. Is that, yeah, because I have two questions that are similar. How will this scale be beyond the first 100 people? At the workshop, it's $29 per card, per person. And there'll be 100 people at the workshop. Our first 100 cards are our pilot group. This lets us test the design, different disabilities, ages, communication needs. Once we refine the design, scaling will become simple because the cards are very low cost, repeatable and easy to customise. And XR Rogers will hold the official copyrighted templates. So organisations will come through us for printing, updates and training. That keeps the resource consistent, safe and recognised by emergency services. Thank you.
To follow on, kia ora. Firstly, two boys, well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you very much. We needed it as the last presentation, now that we're all awake, with the alerts. Just following on about what you said about coming to you to access it, are you looking at doing things like more workshops where people can come to update their stuff, and who owns around privacy information? How do they know, you know, like I'm giving my information to you, how do I know it's going to be private? How can I access it to update it?
Yeah, so we're not allowed to hold your information. So you get given a sheet of paper to fill in all the information, and only the information that you want to give for your cards in an emergency. Once we make the cards in front of you, laminate and give you a lanyard, or if you want a poster or a card size in your purse, we delete what is on our laptop, and that is it. And you walk away with your card, and you walk away with the sheet of paper that you've filled in. When you move address or new phone number, or all you have to do is just come back to us, and we will update it for you, make you another one.
Yeah. So your information is on the back of the card, so that people can ring you.
Yep.
Okay.
And Auckland City Council spoke to us about having a link on your card to say, hey, this is where you can go for if you need to go to any safe places around Auckland. And that's the difference between someone saying, hey, I can go to a library and make me my own card. The difference is that we have the link and it goes straight to Auckland City Council. Yeah.
Just one more quick question. Are you like linking up with Sunflower Disability Lanyards?
Yes, we were asked if we would be interested. I haven't had a meeting with them yet, but it is going to happen.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I got a question. Kia ora,
Kia ora.
Awhina. No, I was really mind blown with your presentation.
Thank you.
Because you put us in the moment, and you showed what actually happens in the current situation, and that's actually quite unique. And to me, you're already starting doing the preparation for workshops anyway, with what you just did there, and just elaborating more on it, you'll just fine tune it and get to that better spot. I'm glad that you can try and talk to the Sunflower one.
Yep.
But I like your guys' idea because it's unique, and it's depicted from whānau. So no, it's really good product, and it's a possibility of a commercial product too, where it's actually awesome. Covers all bases. So no, kia ora.
Oh, kia ora.
Yeah.
Can I just say thank you to, this is an upcoming Peter Jackson right here. His name is Julian Heta. You'll hear it again, his name. He he helped the boys with the skit, and he also helped with the sound effects. Thank you, Julian.
He's just hiding underneath his baseball cap and shakes hands with the boys.
That was awesome, man.
It's getting harder and harder for the grant advisory panel. Oh boy. Thank you so much. That was really, really, really impressive. We have now a couple of presenters joining us online. First, we're going to hear from Tim Young from My Life, My Voice about his project Ready Together.
Kia ora. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Kia ora koutou. Ko Taranaki te monga, ko Monganui te awa. Ko Young Metrism aku hapu. Ko Ngāti Mahuta te mana whenua, e tupu aho e Kirikiri rawa. Ko Tim Young toku ingoa. So my name's Tim Young. My family come from the Taranaki region, and I grew up in Hamilton, and I now live here with my 5-year-old son and my wife, who is hapu, which is very exciting. And I'm from My Life, My Voice. I'm the Chief Technology Officer, and I want to talk to you about our, well, we've got an app, but it's the additions to that app that I'm proposing to have funded today. Can I share my screen and do a short presentation? Is that all right? Share my screen. Cool. So this initiative is called Ready Together, and it's about learning to thrive between emergencies and not just survive a crisis by building disabled household climate resilience. So the problem currently is that disabled households face higher exposure to climate events such as heat events, floods, and outages because of the potentially limited mobility, medical dependencies, and inaccessible shelters, which just makes already dangerous events more dangerous as there are more potential fail points and more serious fail points as well. And currently, most of the mainstream guidance assumes a non-disabled person, and generic preparation advice really fits the real lives of disabled people. Also, most of the advice currently is for after a climate event rather than developing more resilience. We have developed a new tool, which I'll describe in the next slide, but that's more about the emergency response as well. So the next step is to teach people how to become more resilient and thrive between emergencies. So I've just changed slide. We've got 3 screenshots of the current tool. There's three images. So the first image is just shows about like putting your primary information in there, your region, some of your support and accessibility needs, kind of basic stuff that you'd want to share with people. So this is the current prototype. Then in the second slide, it shows how you can add a range of different emergency contacts with their information. And then in the third slide, it shows how you can declare an emergency for a range of different types of emergencies. And then you can choose whether you want an SMS alert, a text message alert, or or an email alert to be sent to all of those people. And you can also add photos and describe the current situation. But what we would like to do for this project is to add on that, because a lot of the questions we have in the app currently, because it's just a prototype, not much thought has gone into them. So we would really like to do a range of community engagement to make sure that we're asking the right questions and we're bringing people along for the ride. Some of the questions that we seek to, so it will be a combination of questions and resources in the app. And the things we want to get people thinking about are questions around that prompt them to think about growing their own food and storing their own food, with preserving them at home depending on your specific dietary needs, stocking power banks and supplies, including thinking about what medical devices you might need, mobility aids, and what your daily routine looks like, and how to recycle things around your house, but also how to recycle your emergency food and power banks so that you've always got fresh things and they're not going out of date. And then as well, how to share those plans, share and develop them with your community, with your family and wider community, because we're all stronger together. So it's a kind of about bringing those around you along for the ride as well. We're asking for 22,580. We're trying to keep it as low as possible. We know there's a lot of other great initiatives in this limited funding pool. So, we could do more on the back end of this around like evaluations to, measure the effectiveness and things like that. But that alone can cost 10, 15 grand. So we're trying to keep as high impact as possible for the low amount we're asking. And that would largely entail meeting 8 to 10 different community groups, a small group of people online. I said Waikato here, but it will be online, and I'll travel up to Auckland a couple of times. And what we'll do is we'll kind of meet with a couple of groups and then make iterations to the app in questions, and then meet with another couple of groups and then make iterations again. In our experience in the past, this has been a much more effective way of spending money, because otherwise, if you just have a couple of really big hui and you're getting a lot of the same questions over and over, then it kind of distracts and decreases the overall effectiveness of the community consultation. My Life, My Voice has already put in $10,000 into this tool to develop the prototype, and we've got joint funding applications in with NEEM and Auckland Council, and we'll continue to put in others to develop the other parts of the emergency response side of the app. But yeah, this is just for the resilience part. We will also develop video tutorials to make it really easy for people to learn how to use the app, and they can learn asynchronously or in their own time. And they can revisit that content that way as well. We only need about $2,000 for the programmer. The app's pretty straightforward. It's really about developing the questions and collecting relevant resources. The programming side is very minor. We've already invested mostly in that. Just change slides again. This is just showing the iterative approach. So yeah, would meet with 8 to 10 community groups, probably a small number of people just to keep things manageable. We'll do it online and a few in person with a range of different disabilities and different life experiences. We'll do a range of iterations on the app. And yeah, this is just a really efficient way we've found to do things. So I'd be leading it. I'm a tetraplegic. I'm part of My Life, My Voice, which is 100% governed by disabled people and tangata whakaha Māori, and 80% staffed by disabled people. We're deeply entrenched in the disability sector, and I myself have developed multiple apps for disabled people, disability tech, as well as educational apps. And just as a community organisation, because we're deeply entrenched in the community, you know, we're constantly having events and expos where we're promoting the other mahi from within the organisation. So just by having this kaupapa within our organisation, it will naturally get reach without investment.
Kapai team, you have 1 minute.
Cool. And yeah, you know, why now? There's obviously more and more insecurity going. You know, there's more food insecurity. There's more events going on. There's you know, international disruption. These are, I think personally, all of the countries should be more resilient and should have these skills anyway. So it would be good for us to be ahead of the curve. And you know, the more resilient members of our community, the more resilient our entire country is. And yes, I think that's the end of it. Any questions are welcome.
Thank you very much. Monica has a question.
Oh.
Sorry, Pip, you go next.
Project about the app. I've not heard about it myself, but are you involving other people within the disability community, deaf, blind, mobility issues? Who are the people actually going to be involved at the end of the project?
Yeah, sure. So our My Life, My Voice is a pan disability organisation. So all of our mahi is pan disability. That's really important to us. We will involve our staff members in the testing as well, but the 8 to 10 organisations that we reach out to will purposefully be pan disability with a range of cultural backgrounds as well. We'll invite organisations like Tama and some Pacific people in the disability community we're familiar with as well. Those sorts of organisations will reach out to, so we'll be really intentional about that, as well as our internal knowledge as an organisation.
Thank you.
But the app hasn't been promoted yet, which is why you haven't heard of it. It's the prototype.
We have time for a Pip's question, then we need to keep moving. Thank you.
To some extent, just wondering if you see any benefit or potential for the app to connect with other people, so that in the event of emergency, then they're able to contact friends, family, whatever.
Exactly, you hit the nail on the head there. But that's the whole purpose of the app we've developed so far, is the responsiveness to the emergency. And so basically you say what the emergency is, who you're with, you can take photos of your current environment, and then it will automatically send to all of the support people who you've added already in the app ahead of time, and you can add people in that moment and for the emergency as well. We've got some really cool features, like you can automatically share your GPS location at the interval you would like to. So if you're in a really dire situation, it could share your GPS location with those contacts every 5 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours. So yeah, it's a fairly straightforward app, but I think it's going to be really powerful and useful for people in an emergency.
And connected to emergency services as well.
Connected to emergency what, sorry?
Services.
Services, yes. So, yes. So far we've got it so like you can add your local emergency management shelter or whatever, and link them in, because we'll have contact details. So we'll start there, or like the council crisis lines. We haven't spoken to like emergency services yet, but I think it's a really good idea. At the very least, any of those contacts who you've shared that information with could then share that with emergency services. The idea is that you just hit emergency, I'm on the run, or whatever, and then that's all you have to do. And then, and then it will just keep sending that information out regularly with updates, and you can add updates in the final app that your emergency contacts will be able to chat with each other as well to coordinate. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tim.
No problem.
We will now invite Scott and Rachel. Rachel, are you coming here as well? Go. Rachel Patterson. So, Scott from Access Maps, working in collaboration with FAB, iLead, Blind Citizens, and Tim.
So Scott's online and Rachel's here in person.
With my other hat on from Smart Access.
All right. Oh, kia ora, everyone. I'm not sure if just going to try and see if everyone can hear me, or if everything's okay. All right. And I think I'll just try and make sure that we're kicking off with Rachel.
Hey guys, lovely to meet you. Yeah, the gentlemen have all let me do this in person, and the young gentleman over there, I can't follow that entertainment. That was absolutely brilliant. We did get a request from the GAP to bring some of the young people that we're going to be speaking of today with us, but they couldn't get out of mahi or school. So we've included some video clips and cut them as quick as we can. So Scott, are you still here?
Yes, I am, Rachel.
Can we?
I'm here.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Where is Scott?
Oh, I might just be joining you virtually, but I'll be steering the screen for
There we go.
anyone that is wondering where the voice is coming from. I'm joining everyone from Melbourne today because we have a couple of projects on the run over here. But I normally call New Zealand home, and I've been, despite my accent, very proud to call New Zealand home for the better part of the last 14 years. So with that, I'll leave it to Rach, and I'll just make sure that we're going as we can.
Thank you, Scott. And I think everyone did see you quickly when I was congratulating the other young people. So we are going to try really hard to stay on track. So I'm here with multiple hats on with Access Maps, and we're partnering with iLead, Yes Disability, and Access Quest. Tim, who you guys just met, think Tim's a lot like myself, that we wear multiple hats in the sector. So why us, why now, and what are we doing? I work a lot with iLead young people, and the same barriers when I was a young person are still existent now. Difficult to get job placements for opportunities for work experience, then difficult to get assistive tech, wheelchairs, anything if you're not in work or training, and the NEET population's growing. So in some of my life, I'm hearing all of these conversations. And then I've been with Scott 5 years with Access Maps, and it's going amazingly, and he'll be able to tell you more, but we don't have enough feet on the ground or enough time to get everything done. So we sat there and had a talk about it and went, okay, we've got two problems that actually complement each other here. So iLead is a youth-led organisation that does conferences as part of what they do at the Beehive. So they go and they explain to decision makers and politicians about real things that are going on and how it affects them. Now they do all sorts of consultancy, and they're absolutely amazing. Yes Disability Resource Centre has been around since the beginning of time. I worked there many, many years ago, and they are a trusted leader in the community, and Sonia Thursby has networks upon networks upon networks. And for the credibility and the insight into the community, that's a partnership that really makes sense, because that's the home of iLead as well. And then within FAB, FAB does more community, sport, recreation, fun things for youth with disabilities, and I co-chair that. And then we've got FAB Pacifica inside that. So there's a whole lot going on here. And I will let Scott talk to about the tech side of the whole lot going on. Scott?
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. And just to keep it nice, short, and quick, because no one likes to hear, just on and on and on about tech unless you're super into it, like Tim and myself. But just about the technology behind what we're looking to bring to the wider community. I'm the CEO and founder of Access Maps, and Tim is the CEO and founder of Access Quest. And among this consortium of people involved in the technology, we're also engaging Blind Citizens New Zealand's Auckland chapter to bring what we're looking to do in this project to life, and make it easier for everyone to know about the accessible locations throughout this incredible city, ensure that that information is up to date, and is going to be answering questions about not just is it accessible when you're there, but how accessible is it when I'm looking to get there? We know where point A is, we know where point B is, now let's find out everything we need to know in between. So just as a quick non-funded shout out, if you haven't checked out Access Quest, go into it. Tim does amazing work, and sing that all day long. So the reason why we're doing this is because there's a big problem with the way that accessibility information is first captured, conveyed, and there's a bit of a lack of consistency across all of this. And I say this in a way where it's not just a singular issue that is presented to council, but it's how every organization within this incredible community is presenting that information and how that information changes in the case of catastrophe, climate disasters, emergencies, and so on. The photo that we've displayed up on screen is actually of Grayland Park in 2022 when it flooded. And this updated version is a photo of the aftermath of that flood 2.5 weeks on from when the rain stopped. So we know that when climate events happen, the impacts of those are far more long-lasting for members of the community with accessibility requirements.
That second photo shows the paths covered in bricks and debris.
Yes. So what we have here is a gap of information that impacts the entirety of the community in a different way. So with this, I'd love to hand it back to Rach to be able to speak a bit more to the impacts on the community and who we're seeking to support with this project.
Thank you, Scott. So the picture of Grayland Park. So the event passes, the climate event, and we have been guided towards living well now, and we deeply understand that. But the climate event passes, the sirens goes off, everyone goes back about their business. But for a lot of us that have specific needs and specific impairments, things don't go back to normal that quickly. You have to relearn routes. A place that you knew to be beautiful and accessible might not be. You might have learnt your way to find your way somewhere, and it's completely different. So having relevant, up-to-date information that you can trust, that's free and accessible, is what we're trying to do. Sorry, Scott, can you just flick one back? So I went on a tangent, which I'll try not to do. Who carries the gap? So 1 in 6 New Zealanders live with an access requirement. 50% of people aged over 65 have 2 or more accessible requirements. And the lost 20%, so those numbers we all know. But one of my mentors has really been bringing to my attention about this lost 20%. So there's 20% of the disability population that's not connected to any of our services, any networks, doesn't have friends, community, not on the Facebook groups. And those are the people that we want to start getting to. How are we going to do it is later on through the slides, but we just want to acknowledge it. Thank you, Scott. Still me. He's put an R on the page for me. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate you. Too dyslexic for this. Who carries the gap? The cost of missing accessibility information falls hardest on 3 groups: disabled people and older adults, whānau support workers and providers, and Auckland Council and emergency management. So in micro disasters like Auckland floods, the amount of myself and other, I hate the word, but leaders in the community that are sitting on Facebook, sitting online, asking each other, so-and-so needs an electric wheelchair battery, so-and-so needs accommodation. There's a man at Henderson Police Station who's been there for 24 hours. And a lot of the resources, information, and ability to get stuff sits inside our head or sits on different websites in different places. There's not one place to get to it all. So if we had a place that is free, that is accessible, that people have already built trust with and use for simple things, like I don't know if anybody else saw the link about how accessible this venue was before we got here, so we could know how's the parking, how's the bathrooms, am I going to need staff or not. I look from less of a tech angle. I look from more of an anxiety angle. It reduces wasted care hours, it reduces wasted trips, it reduces wasted anxiety of not knowing if you'll be safe and comfortable and effective when you're going somewhere. Invisible label and social cost is pretty much what I just explained. It reduces physical costs, emotional costs, time and energy costs by having that information right there. 2 minutes, thank you, Juliana. Scott, I'll get you to take over because you talk faster than I do.
Oh, not a worry. This is where the business side of me gets to shine. Effectively, what we're looking to do is make it easier for all this information to be spread and shared throughout the community. By first, in making it easy to capture the information itself, I'm going to just let everyone know I'm going to be skipping ahead several slides. So if you see a jump, the information that we're seeking to capture is going to, 1, help get a better understanding of how accessible each of the locations are across Auckland. This is going to be done in partnership with iLead and FAB. where we're going to be employing youth with disabilities and giving them work experience in the tech sector as they capture this information through the 120 to 200 locations that we're going to be capturing with Access Maps, and the critical information that's around the 15 to 25 locations through Access Quest. This is going to provide all youth that are participating with work experience, paid job opportunities, and also be able to reference this for future employers. So anyone looking to say, here, this is what's on our resume, they get to be able to use this as a reference. Everything that's captured is going to be reviewed by either the Access Maps team or the Access Quest team, and then going to be made free for display for everyone through Auckland. Our partners at Active Auckland have already said they are more than willing to represent or present any of this information that is captured through our system. As part of this, we're also going to be working to make sure that Living Well Now is easier and building preparedness is even easier for the community as well. By first creating an integration between Access Maps and Access Quest to share this information in real time, making sure that you can have up-to-date information about the venue that you might be seeking to view, such as a beach, park, reserve, aquatic center, hotel, you name it, as well as all the emergency meeting locations across Auckland, and being able to get live, accurate wayfinding there with Access Quest as well.
Thank you,
As part of this, we're going...
Juliana's giving me the eye. She's giving me the 1 minute eye, Scott. So
okay.
I'm going to smile at her real nicely and say, because the panel begged us to bring young people and I couldn't get them here, we've got a 1 minute video. Before question time, would you give permission for us to run the video? Yeah, I got her permission, Scott.
Please let me know if there's sound.
There's no sound, Scott.
No sound.
I apologize. I thought that we would have sound going with this. It just is not coming through Zoom. I'll make sure that the link is available for everyone after this presentation.
Scott, the gentlemen have got it here, the AV gentlemen. I think they're ready. Is that a thumbs up? Yep, they're ready. Hey, it's Rach from Access Maps. I'm here with Nia, who I've just absolutely thrown in the deep end. Nia, why have I thrown you in the deep end? What's your relationship to iLead?
So I am one of the founding members for iLead, which is a movement for young people to go to Parliament and talk to policymakers on like things that matter to them. But also I've now stepped into the role of alumni.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're running for Pacifica, right, for us?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I dropped you in the deep end today because with many of my hats on, we are doing this app so that people can get around Auckland regardless of their disability. They can search where they want to go. And we had this crazy idea to get young people that are already going places to photograph it. We pay them for their time, then it all goes live on the map so other people can use it. How crazy do you think we're?
It's not even crazy. If you can go on Google Maps, right, and if you can see those photos and that helps a person, then why can't disabled people actually be in charge of having our own map?
Yeah, that's sort of how we based it, like nothing about us without us. And the other idea is, I know it's still really hard for young people to get work experience. It's not as easy to do entry-level jobs. Yeah. To populate this map, let's bring the family in and let's get some young people paid and some work experience. How do you think that the young, like iLead people might feel about that, or the young fabbers might feel about the idea?
They feel empowered that they're responsible for something. All humans just want to feel needed, and in that process you're making disabled people feel needed and in charge of something. Because you know the current conversation is that they're lacking in certain spaces.
100%. Thank you so much for letting me put you on the spot on no notice. I appreciate you.
No worries.
Thank you, Bob. So, thank you. Scott, come back for question time. Thank you for letting us run that. We skipped heaps of slides because when we ran the timing, I forgot to be considerate for everyone. I'm translating it in the room, so our apologies, and made the quick decision that hearing from Nia, who's a real person, is way more important than seeing 5 more of our slides. So we are ready for your questions.
We have time for a couple of questions because we are a little bit over time.
Yeah. Apologies.
I know you're tired. Any pressing questions?
Just got a really quick question. Just wondering, this app is particularly visual, and I'm wondering about how blind people will be enabled to use it.
Hey Pip, I'll give that one to Scott. Thank you for your question.
Yeah, thank you, Pip. So the app is already in use across multiple other regions. City of Tauranga is a fantastic example where we've actually worked with City Council and partners in the community to be able to bring everything to life in really a live environment. So it's always free to use by the community members. The information is live and up to date. And what we're looking to bring to this is going to be a level of effectively clarity on a day-to-day basis, not just in terms of climate crisis, but also in terms of what's available and when is it available. Because effectively we know that more the small changes that happen in our daily lives have outsized impact. So understanding when a beach mat is available, when it's not available, it causes huge ripple effects. And yeah.
And for Access Quest, can I jump in there really quickly? We have step-by-step audio navigation for our for Access Quest, and we would include flood zones as an optional on and off thing while you're getting that audio description.
Long and the short of it, absolutely yes. We won't do anything that's not pan accessible to everyone ever at all.
Yes.
Oh, go Tamara. No, you go first. Ladies first.
Thank you. Love the presentation. I was just wondering about, would you be including in this with being pan disability, sites for when it's like, this is a really smelly area, this is a really bright area, bringing in alternative views like that to bring in the neurodivergent community, and also could you elaborate a little bit about your how the marketing and the use is going in other areas?
Yes, I can. Thank you for your question, Tamara. If you clicked on the link today that Juliana sent out about this venue, I would have clicked on it by use a wheelchair, but we could have clicked on it for neurodiverse or have high sensory needs, and it would have shown pathways in areas that are low sensory. Smellies, I'll have to let Scott answer that one. But yeah, we absolutely do, even right down to some of the malls that have signed up with us and other places. You can see when quiet times are at those locations. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Scott, did I miss anything?
Yeah, no, effectively that hit the nail on the head for a number of different things. And I think the only thing I need to kind of speak to from that question is how it's been used in other locations. So one of the big things that we do is we take the data that's gathered through these maps, and we're able to make sure that our partners are able to use that for future planning. So in the case of Tauranga, their map is used almost 1 million times per year. And as part of that data set that have been able to engage with, they're able to see how often community members are viewing each of the different locations and what accessibility categories they're viewing the information for. So that helps them with future planning, as well as being able to say, if we understand that there's a lot of parking spaces in a particular portion of town that do not have curb cuts, this is a place where we can actually invest and be able to plan more effectively moving forward. And one of the impacts that we've seen from that combination of planning has actually been a reduction in ACC claims around accessibility by about 3.7% in the city of Tauranga. So if we're talking about living well now, living well in a physically well environment is a big portion of that.
I think those
But yeah.
numbers reflect no accidents happening. Well, not those numbers reflect less accidents, is what Scott was meaning.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was really cool, all the techie guys. So we are a little bit over time, so I will be very brief, just thanking, first of all the participants. You put so much energy, time, passion into this pilot. We've been quite on a journey since February, well, since November, December, February, the team that was before our team got in. So it's been a long journey, but so proud to see all the ideas that came through today. So big round of applause for our participants. Thank you for the grant advisory panel here that has a really hard job to do. Yes, I will be in touch by email. Wait for me. Foundation North, Auckland, Community Think, the team providing accessibility here today that made possible to be this a very inclusive event. And just a reminder, this pilot is building something much, much bigger than just delivering 150,000 in funds. It's building trust, relationships, and long-term change. I will invite now Les to close us off with a karakia.
Kia ora everyone, Les here. Karakia whakamutunga. Ka whakairia te tapu, kia wāte ai te ara, kia turiki whakataha ai, kia turiki whakataha ai, haumie, huie, taiki e. Kia ora.
Great, I'll come
There is a little bit of food still, please. Don't be a stranger to the food. Let's not waste. And we have some photos for the. We're gonna do photos for.
Yes. So the people who are in the last group need to get their photo taken by Becky. So Xavier and Rocky and Alvina and Michael and Lauren and